Hey guys, Blessing here. How are you doing? Hope everyone is doing excellent. So we're here again to follow up on the story about Valerie, about the KO family, Promise Chooks, and Vera television program. Last time I did the analysis, but we didn't finish, and today we are just going to continue and show you guys where we stand at the moment. This story is volatile. A lot has been happening so far. It doesn't even look like this story is about to come to an end. Vera television program doesn't look like she is ready to let this story come to an end, and that is one big question I have. Why? Why is Vera being very adamant and very insistent on keeping this story afloat? Is Promise Chooks okay with what Vera is doing at the moment? And the reason I'm asking Promise Chooks directly is Valerie is involved. You are supposed to be the biological father. What interest? Why is it important for this story to continue to stay online? If I missed anything, if maybe there is a reason why it is important for this story or for Vera to continue to talk about this story, you guys should drop me those comments. In case there is something that I missed, in case there's something that I don't know, please drop me the comments, because logically I don't think that this story should continue to be pushed as far as it is pushed. So a few weeks back, KO family came out and publicly distanced themselves from Valerie. Let us listen to part of that. And when they did that video, I just felt like, okay, this might mark the end of this story, which is good for Valerie. But I was shocked again to see yesterday that Mabel and her husband still came out and did another video talking about Valerie, about her things, which I found a bit disappointing. So I'm just gonna let us listen to that video they did some weeks back.
So Valerie is no longer in our life. So nobody should write us. The father should please go and take Valerie from the orphanage home, please, so that nobody should start sending us any message in regards to that. We just want to get rid of it, no matter what.
We just want to get rid of that. And they were sitting down with Valerie, and Valerie was crying, and it was really emotional. And look, I understand this family, for them to say, we want to distance ourselves, we want to get rid of everything. You know, it's not easy being dragged online every other day. I understand them, although I had my reservations from the angle of you say you love this girl. Why would you want to cut contact entirely with her? Because the man said, I have instructed my wife and my kids never, like, not to talk to her, and for her also not to contact us. So I'm like, you can love her and love her from a distance. You don't have to cut all ties with her. But on the other hand, I still understand, if you still maintain some level of communication, it might still continue to feel that animosity between Valerie's dad and the family. So it might just be the best thing for them to do at the time, to just protect their own family as well. Now, after they did this video, you'd imagine, okay, now that they have given up, at least they have thrown in the towel, they have said, we are not going to drag Valerie any longer, we are done and dusted. You would imagine and you would expect that everyone would just rest and just wait until the results come out, you know, until Promise Chooks comes out to say, okay, this is what I've done, this is what I've not done, this is the situation, since this family has said they are done and dusted. But lo and behold, Vera didn't let that happen. Vera continued to come forward and do videos. And again, I have no idea why Vera is doing so. So before we even continue, I want to play something Valerie said in a recent video. So in the first video she did addressing her dad, she said to him, I don't want to be with you. I don't want to stay with you. I want to stay with the KO family. That was the first video. And just, I think last week, she did another video and her stance changed. What she said in that recent video was, Promise Chooks, please go and do a DNA and come and get me. So when she did the first video saying she didn't want to have anything to do with Promise Chooks, so many people were worried about her mental well-being. They were worried that, oh, can the government actually force this girl to stay with Promise Chooks when she doesn't want to stay with him? So people were kind of like worried, and it made the case very complex. But now that she's saying, Promise Chooks, come for me, come get me, go do a DNA and come and get me out of here, it is so clear that this case looks complex, but it's not really that complex. But because this girl, it's not like she's tied emotionally to K.O. family. She just wants to get out of where she is. That is what I feel is happening. It's not like she's saying I must go to the K.O. family. It's not like she's saying my life is damaged if I don't go to the K.O. family. What she's saying is I want to come out of this house I'm living in. I don't want to stay here any longer. I want a normal life. I want to stay with a normal family. So it really doesn't matter who takes me out of here. If it's the K.O. family, fine. If it's Promise Chooks, anybody, just come and get me out of here. That is what she wants in essence, okay? So I'm gonna play that for you guys to listen to.
It's not how it is, because so that you guys also understand me why I don't want to be with him. Because he never cared for my mom. He just left my mom to suffer. And that is why she also died, because nobody really cared for her.
I don't know. Valerie was talking in this video, and the way she was talking, it looked rehearsed. I might be wrong, and this is a child, and we shouldn't be judging her show or her display of emotions, but everything she was saying, she had to think hard about what she wanted to say. She was repeating herself. It was like she was reciting some lines she knew she had to say. She was saying, yeah, that is why my mom died, because no one was there for her. But your mom had a husband. She moved on with another man. Promise Chooks moved on with another woman. So why would you want to be putting the blame on Promise Chooks, on your supposed dad? So for me, it just looked a bit rehearsed. It's sad that she has to find herself in this situation that she's in, but the things that she was saying were not really aligning with reality. So let's just listen further.
And Mr. Promise was the one that was supposed to be there for her. And he didn't do that. He just left and had other children, another woman. So, because that is what you wanted. So please do that. And if you don't do that, then I don't want to have anything to do with you. Really, I'm going to block you, everything. I'm not going to have contact with you at all. Because I can't see that you just came in and to destroy my life. And then you are telling K.O. family that they should return me so that you'll be able to take me. So that is what they did now. And I am here now waiting for you to come and do that, to come and take me in.
So you guys just hear now. So she's upset at Promise Chooks because she thinks Promise Chooks has just abandoned her. She feels like, oh, Promise Chooks, you just came to spoil my chances of being with the K.O. family, of leaving this place I'm staying, and you're not doing anything. So go ahead, don't destroy my life. Go ahead and come and claim me. That is what she's saying. Okay, so after everything, Njoh went live and he was disagreeing with the decision that K.O. family made. And he said, look, you cannot abandon Valerie. I disagree. And of course, Njoh is an enemy to Vera, or they are enemies. And Njoh has been a huge supporter of the K.O. family. But I'm looking at Njoh like, Njoh, you're fighting this fight because of Vera. You understand? You cannot continue to push this family. If they decide that this is what is best for us, you are not going through what they are going through. You are not the one in the center or at the center of everything that is happening. And so Njoh went live and he called Mabel's husband, and Mabel also spoke during that conversation. So I want you guys to listen to some of the shocking things Mabel said.
This issue has been on ground since that last year when he contacted us through our business line. We told him the right thing. That time, we haven't even started to process the adoption or taking the custody of Valerie.
Okay. One thing I need to say to Mabel is, Mabel, your stories are just so inconsistent. Now, Mabel said Promise Tricks contacted her a year ago, even before she started to process Valerie's adoption. And the question is, why would you want to start to process someone's adoption when you know that there is somebody in the picture? So it's not like you didn't know about any man anywhere trying to claim Valerie. The man contacted you. So that narrative of, oh, he came out of the blues is also false, because he contacted you. If he had no interest in the girl, he would not have contacted you. So why would you still proceed with applying for adoption when you know that someone already contacted you? When you know that someone was in the picture, someone already stepped forward asking you about Valerie already. So what were you hoping to achieve with going forward, going ahead to start up an adoption process when you know that someone contacted you already about the girl? Did you go back to the person who contacted you to say, okay, I know you told me that girl is yours, but now I'm planning to adopt her. What is the outcome of, what have you done so far? Have you gone to claim her? Because I intend to. So were you already anticipating a war between you and that man? Because already you knew he was in the picture. So that is already another big question mark. But let us continue to listen to the rest of the things that Mabel said.
Yeah. And I want to use this opportunity to tell the whole world one more time that it was government who put this decision in my hand, not by my own power. I never applied for anything. Government.
She said, I never applied for anything.
Realize how good we are to Valerie. They realize that the depression is gone. They see how happy she has become. They called me on a fateful day and they asked me if I would like to take over.
This, I don't even know how to react to this. Mabel, I find this unfortunate. There are so many people who love you. There are so many people who support you, who want you to have Valerie, who believe you're taking good care of her, who believe you're going to give her a stable, a stable home environment to grow in. But when they listen to your inconsistencies, they listen to the different storylines you come forward with, it is difficult for them not to lose trust and hope in you, and also have doubt about your intentions for even wanting to have anything to do with this Valerie in the first place. Now, Madam Mabel, you said that you applied for this girl to be adopted by your family. You did that live video in which you came forward and you were celebrating that the government had approved your application. You were emotional, you were crying, you were happy, and you explained how you applied in that video. And now you're calling Njoh to tell Njoh that you didn't apply for anything, that they just called you. How did they just call you out of the blues to ask you if you wanted to adopt Valerie? Because they see how good your family is. How? So which story do we believe now? Did you apply for Valerie to be adopted, or did the government just wake up one day and say, oh my God, this KO family, they should adopt Valerie, and they just handed Valerie over to you? Which storyline do you want people to believe? And these are the little lies here and there that you're telling. It's like you've not really put your story together, because your stories are not in one line. And that is the unfortunate thing. That is why it's difficult for people to believe that you have good intentions. So I'm going to let people continue to listen to the rest of what you said to Njoh on that day.
Every decision they have made, none I have ever given them a suggestion. They made that decision and put it in my own hand.
Okay, so she finished that phone call with Njoh with that story of the government contacted me. I never applied for anything. But I want to play an old video of Mabel. Let's just listen to something she said before that she probably forgot about when she was talking to Njoh.
5 years. A friend of mine in UK called me to tell me that Bonita is dead. Oh. I was like, oh my God, what? Hey, where is Valerie? She said she don't know because 3 of us used to be friends. I said, no, I'm going to Vienna now. I'm going now. I contacted so many people. I even contributed into Bonita's burial ceremony. People who are in Vienna, you all saw me. And then I made sure I spent time there. I went to the government. I saw my courage. Even at the initial time, I was afraid.
So you went to the government. You summoned courage. You said at the initial time you were afraid. So you put in the application. That is what you told us months back. So how come you are now saying again to Enogie now that you didn't do anything? You didn't apply for anything. The government just saw that you qualify to be a good family for Valerie and they put Valerie in your hands. Madam, which one do we believe now? Let's listen to the rest.
Because how am I going to defend myself not having any relationship with Bonita at all and then coming out and say I want to be taking care of her?
That this thing
there is something I have not said.
Okay,
because
say it.
My
Don't be afraid.
issue with my girlfriend is something I will never discuss on social media. I will never come out and say this is how me and Bonita went. This is how me and Bonita did. I will never talk about the dead, let alone. She was a very good friend to me. She felt me. She was nice to me. She never hurted me. Yes. She has never did me any wrong.
Yeah.
One thing I have not come out on social media to talk about is, to my greatest surprise, when Bonita died, a stranger called me from nowhere and told me that my sister is late. I said, which of my sister? They wanted me to come. Before they told me she was late, they wanted me to come immediately. They said, we need you now in Vienna. There is a situation. Your sister left your number at the hospital. I said, what? Who? I looked, I checked. I didn't know who they were talking about. And then I told them to just give me the breaking news, which they gave me the news and told me that my sister, Bonita first, is late. And she dropped her number for them to call me if anything happens to her, so I can take care of her child. This is something I have not disclosed, so that many people will not think I am lying. And now she is late. How was I supposed to abandon a child that the mother have left her number behind, my number behind, and say, call this woman? That was the reason why it was even more possible. Because when I came to her burial ceremony, the whole Ostran there, the whole social workers, they knew me more or less already because she left my number behind before she died.
This is a new one because initially Mabel said a friend in the UK told her that Bonita had passed because she and Bonita didn't speak for 5 years before Bonita's demise, and that the friend in the UK called her to announce the death and she was shocked when she heard it. So it's quite strange to hear Mabel say again that a random stranger from somewhere called her to inform her that Bonita had died and that Bonita left her number. So all this, it's just so confusing, Mabel, and that is the problem. That is just what I mean by different stories. You know Promise Chooks, you don't know Promise Chooks. He called you 2 years ago. You gave Valerie his number. He called you last year before you adopted. You adopted Valerie. Oh no, you did not make any application. The government put Valerie in your hands. They told you that you had to take care of Valerie. Oh, the friend in the UK informed you of Bonita's death. Oh no, a stranger from God knows where called you to tell you Bonita gave them your number in case anything happened to her. Do you now see the problem? Like, I just feel like, Mabel, you are your own problem. You might think Vera is a problem to you, but I don't even think Vera is much of a problem to you as you are a problem to yourself. You are contradicting yourself every other day.
But the father wasn't there, and we do not know who the father is.
Okay.
If this man is the father, good and fine. Let him go and take care of his responsibility.
Anyway, one of the latest that we got on that story was Mabel coming out again to say that what happened between herself and Promise Chooks was a case of mistaken identity, and that the person Promise Chooks thought he knows was not Mabel but one Mercy Okoro. Let's listen to the jubilation video she did with her family rejoicing.
Loving the whole KO family, loving daddy. Okay, my wonderful husband, thank you so much for being a decision maker. Most of the words that comes out of my mouth is just coming through me, but the decision is mainly from my husband. So please don't be offended, because man, now you own how. So when you all realize that sometimes I make decision like this, sometimes I make decision like this, I want to say I am sorry for disappointing some people that believe so much in us.
Okay, so Mabel apologized here for disappointing people that believe in them, that she said, sometimes I make decision like this, sometimes I make decision like that. Madam, there is a difference between making a decision and making a statement. You can change decisions. You can say, okay, today I decide I want to adopt Valerie. Tomorrow you decide I don't want to adopt Valerie anymore. It's a thing of choice. But when you make a statement, it's a thing of true or false. So you are apologizing for your decisions. You don't have to apologize really for your decisions, but you should apologize for the lies and the inconsistencies and the falsehood that you have sold out there. When you tell people that I have applied to adopt Valerie, and then you come out again to say, I did not apply, government gave her to me, that is not a decision. That is just a statement, and that statement, there is some level of inaccuracy inside of it. You have not been truthful entirely. So are you now telling us indirectly that it is your husband that is strategizing the whole plot and telling you, let us push it in this direction? Oh no, let us change our story. Let us tell them this one. Is that what you're trying to apologize for? That your husband has been the one telling you the lies that might be best, or the lies that might suit your narrative best, or the lies that might win people's sympathy best?
There are some decisions we made. There are some words we spoke that we didn't actually expect. Yes, you know, the way men make decisions and the way women make decisions is not the same. Try to understand us and forgive us in any way we must have wronged you or offended you.
Okay, so for me, the apology was good, but the apology was not good enough, because you should apologize for having lied to your followers. And another question is, even if you think this is a case of mistaking identity, how about the other times that you and Promise Chooks had contact? Was it also the same Mercy Okoro Promise talked with? You said he contacted you a year ago. It was you he contacted, not Mercy Okoro. So I think the man knows what he's talking about at the end of the day. He knows who he contacted. He knows who he talked with. Fine. Maybe the person that visited him in 2006 was Mercy Okoro, but how about other conversations that you had with Promise Chooks? Because there is no denying here that you know him. Because like I said, we cannot deny the fact that you people talked at certain points in time.
Gist Me TV, you have started to saga Gist Me TV since 3 days, all because she stood for your daughter.
Okay, that is another thing that I'm still asking, because Gist Me TV was being bullied by Vera, because the lady did a video, and in that video I think she interviewed the Mercy Okoro. And look, I understand that this lady is a blogger and she's maybe just doing her thing, but you cannot just rule out Mabel ever knowing Chooks Promise because one Mercy Okoro came out to say that she visited Promise Chooks. You cannot entirely just rule out anything with that. Yes, it's possible that Mercy Okoro visited him. Yes, it's possible that some of Bonita's other friends visited him, but that does not mean that Mabel doesn't know Promise Chooks, or that Promise Chooks doesn't know Mabel, or doesn't also mean that Promise Chooks never spoke with Mabel, because we heard Mabel say now that Promise Chooks contacted her even a year ago. But on the side of Vera, I don't think it's justifiable for Vera to be bullying Gist Me TV, or for her to be dragging her family, her husband, her ex, and every other thing Vera is doing. I don't think it's called for. But Gist Me TV is also not just letting Vera oppress her, she is also fighting back in whichever way in whichever way she can. And KO family still did another video with another man. I don't know if he's a blogger, and he was also, and I'm like, Mabel, you guys should just rest. You don't want your name in the media. You don't like the way Vera is dragging you and your family. You guys already distanced yourself. So why are you still coming to talk about this thing? Even if Vera chooses to continue to, you know, put the story there, why do you have to also continue to join her to keep the story alive? Now, I want you guys to listen to snippets from what Mabel said or did yesterday together with her husband, which again, I still find very, very disappointing.
I cannot be hearing this child cry every now and then. Go and visit her. Go and visit her. No bring her shame.
Now, Mabel, you already told your viewers together with your husband that you don't want to have anything to do with Valerie anymore, not because you don't love her, but because you just want to put everything behind you and move on. Then why are you still calling Promise Chooks? What is your business now? Whether Promise Chooks goes to get his daughter or not, which one is your business now? You want this story to end, I believe. I don't think you're enjoying the kind of attention you're getting or your family is getting. Why don't you just pull yourself out of it? Because Valerie's name is out there, and now Mabel's husband started to bring out Valerie's things, and Mabel was trying to stop him, like, no, don't bring out her shame. But the husband insisted, and they were bringing out some of Valerie's things that she had with them.
Not be shame, man. Look at them.
See shoe. When you say now your daughter. See shoe. These are the property, and when I go back down, they see her shoes. See.
Your so-called daughter.
Yeah.
Look at
See your so-called daughter. See shoe.
Look at what she has.
I find this disgraceful. This is such a barbaric act from also Mabel's husband. Oga, you're supposed to be the man here. You cannot be doing this. What are you trying to prove with this? This thing you're doing now, you didn't just shame Promise Chooks. I think that is what you guys intended to do with this video, to shame him, to say, oh my God, you claim you are this and that, but look at what your daughter is wearing. No, it was Valerie you guys shamed. The girl is 14. She has friends. What do you think? How do you think she's going to be able to face them? You're showing her things the way you're showing. This girl also has her own pride, even as a young girl, and there you're showing all her things, all her property like that. I find it shameful. Like I said, you guys are saying you don't want to have anything to do with this story anymore, but what do you guys continue to do? You're also adding benzene, you're also adding fuel to it. You're also keeping this story alive. Even if Vera chooses to do what she's doing, and a lot of people might not also be in agreement with what Vera is doing and how she's doing it, but do you guys also have to join?
If not because of this, now video the whole property sent to you.
Yes.
Promise is a bastard.
See, clothes she no gets. Nothing. Now we dey buy am. You know how much we have spent? You know how much we have spent? I'm not talking about lawyer where we say I stand for us during the process.
She said, you know how much we have spent, and why complain about how much you spent and how much? It was your choice. You chose to do it. Fine, things didn't work out the way you planned, but all of this drama is really, really unnecessary.
Consequence, they keep una quiet.
Look at the rag your daughter have.
Look at it.
So they continue to bring out Valerie's things, and Osifo was like, look at the rags your daughter has. Like, oh God, this is wrong. You guys are shaming that girl. You cannot be bringing out her things like this. You're shaming her. You're disgracing her. You are the one exposing her now, bringing out her mess in the public, showing her the bag looks like a Ghana must go. This is bad. You guys just disgraced this girl. You just wiped her face in the mud. You just wiped her life. You just washed her dirty linen in public. You just showed her friends and her peers that she not rich or something, and you think you're shaming the dad, but it's the girl you are actually embarrassing. Which young girl of that age would like their parents to bring out their maybe underwear to show on social media and say, oh my God, look at what she has?
Nobody ask of the picking again. Promise, give them your France number. They said they can't reach you with Nigerian number. Valerie was asking me of your number. I said, me, I don't have number. That one when I give and I be the one when I get. Because I was the one who gave your number to Valerie almost 2 years ago, that time.
Ah, Jesus is Lord. Where does this end, Madam Mabel? What is happening? Can you just bring one final story out and then just end it? Just bring one final story, the story, the truth. Bring it out and tell your viewers and your followers and those people who love you and trust you exactly what the situation is. So Mabel just said here that she gave Valerie Promise Chuk's number 2 years ago. So you had Promise's number 2 years ago. Hi, God. This is serious, Mabel. So you had his number. How did you come about his number? Who gave you his number? So you guys even talked as far back as 2 years ago. So clearly that man knows who he's talking about. He knows what he's talking about when he says, Mabel, you know me. Mabel, I know you. Mabel, why are you pretending you don't know me? He knows what he's talking about. He's not confusing you for Mercy Okoro. He knows Mabel Osifo, Mabel Cobalt. He knows. You gave Valerie his number 2 years ago. That is what you just said. So which story are we going to believe? Why are you then pretending that you don't know this man? Why are you pretending that is a case of mistaken identity? Was it Mercy Okoro that gave Valerie Promise Chuk's number? No, it was you. You had his number even 2 years ago before you even went ahead to adopt Valerie. So why did you even start the adoption when you knew then that Promise Chooks was in the picture? Like, why all these different storylines? That is the question I continue to ask. Let us listen to the rest before I'll just end this video now.
That time when you called me, I told you, okay, if you say this girl are your picking, I exchange the number for both of you. But you come on social media, you refuse to be on.
You exchanged the numbers because you believed him. You would not give Valerie's number to some riffraff. I'm sure about that. Unless you're a riffraff, which I don't want to believe you are. I'm sure you would not just give Valerie's number to any tout who contacts you to say, oh, Valerie is my daughter. You wouldn't do it. But I'm sure or almost sure that the reason you gave Valerie's number to Promise Chooks was because you trusted that that man has a role to play in the birth of Valerie. So why the pretense? Why the lies that you don't know this man or you don't think he's the father? But you gave Valerie the number. You gave the number of a 14-year-old to a strange man. Was that man really strange to you? I don't think so. I don't think he was a strange man to you. Otherwise, you would never have given that child's number. So, madam, which version are you going to come forward with tomorrow?
What was I supposed to do? Make I come to breastfeed you? Make I come to breastfeed you? Only your child now you want. I gave your contact.
All right, you guys. So, I just think this story is really not as complex. It looks complex, but if you really just pay attention to everything that has been said so far, you can tell that it's not as complicated as people think it is. So one last question I just want to ask before I round off this video is, when exactly is Mabel going to sue Vera? Because I think that is where the hatred for Mabel started. When Mabel threatened she was going to sue Vera, that is how Vera started, you know, doing saga with Mabel. So after all the videos Vera has done, what is Mabel still waiting for? Why is she also still dragging with Vera? Why is she still doing live videos and talking about Valerie and fighting and trying to defend herself continuously with different stories? Why not just go ahead and sue as she has always threatened? So I'm going to leave it here. I will continue to follow this story. And like I said during my last analysis, we are eagerly waiting to hear from Mr. Promise Chooks, to really hear his side of the story, to hear what he knows and to hear what is going on. Is he willing to take Valerie in? Is he willing to take Valerie along with him to the States? Because I believe the man is based in the United States. So I will update you guys if anything new comes up. So if you don't want to miss any of these or other upcoming stories that I am going to be doing, go ahead and like and follow this page, share this video, drop your comments and let me know what you know. Let me know what you think about everything that is happening. Thank you again for watching. I remain Blessing Njoh the analyst, and I will catch you all on my next one.